Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing an 8-4 Magic Origins draft. Rare is pretty good. I've played Kothafed a few times, and he's really good. Not much else to say about him. There's also a Sigilled Starfish in here, and Fetid Imp, Titan Strength, Rock Smaller. They're all pretty playable, but I think it's pretty easy Kothafed. 6 mana, 6/6 flying with upside is pretty insane. Okay, follow-up pick. Wow. Good cards. Black card's not good enough, so we're going to have to go to a different color. Probably take the Spider, but Impulse is pretty insane too. I mean, Spider is pretty big. Tough to deny that. But you can really never have enough Fiery Impulses in this format. I mean, ever. You can actually have enough Sky Snare Spiders. Sky Snare Spider in a vacuum is, of course, stronger than Fiery Impulse, but I think there's replaceable stuff for Sky Snare Spider. There really is not replaceable stuff for a 1 mana 2 or 3 damage instant speed spell. So it's a little bit challenging here, believe it or not. I guess I'll go Spider. I actually think Fiery Impulse could be the pick there, though. Okay, well, you know how I feel about Draga Invocation, so seems like a fine pickup here. Otherwise, in black, we have Fetid Imp, which is good, and Gnarl Root Trapper. But I think I just take Invocation. This card is very strong. And it's early enough to try and make it work. Okay, now I kind of want to take Imp over Rock Smaller. We're already very top-heavy, first 3 picks being 6 drops, so I kind of want to take the Imp. And, although, I mean, there's some good red cards here, too. But I very much want to play Kothafed if possible, so I'm going to take the Imp, which is a nice... Considering our first 3 picks, I think Fetid Imp is probably one of the better picks we could ask for. So, let's take it. At common, at least. Nothing terribly exciting here. I'll probably take Guardians. I don't really like the card in general, but once again, based on our 6 drops, I think Guardians seems like something we might consider wanting if we don't end up with enough low end. I think Shaman's a better card than Recluse. Recluse is better for buying time to the late game, but I still think Shaman is probably a better card. In general, beats down a little bit better. Alright, I think Leaf Gilder is like exactly what this deck wants. Gotta ramp to those 6 drops. Shadows of the Past is an option if I had like Gather the Pack or something, or basically if Leaf Gilder wasn't here, it'd be a consideration, but I'd still probably take Orchard Spirit, but Leaf Gilder is just an easy pickup for our deck. Nothing terribly exciting here. I can take Thornbow Archer in case some sort of elf sub-theme happens, but Thornbow Archer typically not played in the same deck with a bunch of 6 drops. But let's cut black out of this pack anyway, so I guess we'll take it. Okay, I think Tactician is the best card here, so I'll take that. Off to a pretty good start. Can't complain about our late game, so at this point probably want to just focus on the early game. Well, Hitchclaw Recluse is right up this deck's alley, so I'll take it. Alright, starting to come together pretty nicely. So far I would prefer to not play Guardians of Meletis or Thornbow Archer, but I think it's very unlikely we're going to play Thornbow Archer, to be honest. Already, just based on how this deck looks right now. Alright, Return Centaur is fine, though. Not great, but feeds the Shadows of the Past, I guess, but we didn't get one, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. Okay, I guess Bone to Ash, maybe. The most annoying card out of there. Still have yet to play Touch of Moonglove, but I'll consider it. I just don't think it's that good of a card. Guess it works reasonably well with a Recluse. Well, it works well with high toughness guys in general. The exclusion being, well, nothing actually, I guess. This deck actually looks like a deck that could potentially run Touch of Moonglove. Alright, there's Eyeblight Massacre. We do have a couple elves already. I'm not the biggest fan of the card. I seem to always play against elf decks when I try and make it work. Probably just want the Unholy Hunger, get some removal for us. Granted, it's a 5-drop removal, but I'm hoping we can table Shaman, Recluse, or Eyeblight Massacre. Alright, I actually like Graveblade Marauder quite a bit. There's also Conclave Naturalist, though, which is good. But I kind of like that Marauder is... I just like Marauder. I think it's a good card. It's a 1/4 Death Touch. Like, it's an awesome blocker, and I think it actually fits well in this deck. We don't really have, like, a, you know, creature cards in the graveyard theme going on, but I just think it's a very good card. And like I said, I think Naturalist is really strong, too. They're both really strong. I'm probably just going to go Marauder because it's cheaper. At this point, the cheaper we can make our deck, the better. Our 6-drops are pretty excellent at winning games. Okay, I might just want to read the bones here. Nothing else on color that's at all, really, that I care about. Still am not on board the Nissa's Pilgrimage, nor the Sylvan Messenger, so let's take Read the Bones. Which is just a good card. Alright, I'll take Weight of the Underworld here. Otherwise it's like Evolving Wilds, but Weight of the Underworld is a fine removal spell, so I'll take it. Fits our curve reasonably well at the moment. Not exactly an exciting removal spell, but a removal spell I've come to appreciate more as I've played this format more. It's one of those removal spells you don't want to have in multiples, but it's fine as like a one-of. You certainly want to have it in multiples if you're on the Blightcaster plan, but I just do not think we are. Alright, easy Reeve Soul here. Only other considerations are Bonded Construct and Might of the Masses, so totally on board with Reeve Soul. Let's just get rid of the Touch of Moonglove now. Even though I said it's good with Guardians of Meletus, Hitchclaw Recluse, and Return Centaur, I would still prefer to not play the card. Okay, fine with Eyeblight Assassin. Keeps the curve low. Potentially removal spell. And nothing else really close in here. This is not a Bloodsucker deck. I don't like the card in general. I especially don't like it when I'm running Read the Bones. And not a Goldforge Sentinel deck since, once again, we're already kind of good on the late game plan. Alright, I'll take Titanic Growth. This card's always good. Even if you're a little bit slower, which we're not necessarily. But even if you're a little bit slower, just Titanic Growth wins games. Alright, actual miss here, so I guess I'll take the on-color card because I don't care about any of these other ones. We'll take out of the pack. Kind of works with Graveblade Marauder. So does Return Centaur. But that's fine. Active Treason could be good against us. I'm going to hate that. I haven't played against an Artificer in a while, but nothing else in here is good at all, so I'll take it. Okay, that pack was pretty good for us. I definitely like where we're at. We have a good amount of early game now. We have a good amount of mid to late. Basically, we just need 6 more cards to make a deck. I'll take the Tutelage, which I think is possible, so I wouldn't mind a couple more 2-drop creatures. Removal, what are we looking at? We got Reeve Soul, Unholy Hunger, Weight of the Underworld, Fetid Imp. Dismissal could be good against us. Draga Invocation is kind of removal. Eyeblight Assassin's kind of removal too. Alright. So pack 3, yeah, just clean up with a couple more 2 and 3 drops. We can handle another couple 4 drops, maybe another 5 drop. But curve-wise, our deck is looking very nice. Jeez. Kithian's Irregulars is pretty strong. I'm not going to hate it, though. Shambling Ghoul is a very good card in general, and it's something I really want for our deck. So I'm going to take a card that's better for our deck over the card that's pretty insane in Limited. I'm not going to hate pick when there really is a solid 2-drop that our deck really wants. So we'll take the Ghoul. Okay, there's a Shadows of the Past in here. Can I make it work? I've got Gather the Pack and Return Centaur. Graveblade Marauder and Shadows of the Past kind of have the same plan as well. There's also a Pharika's Disciple, though, which is a card I like quite a bit. I think Disciple's a great card. It fits our curve well, too. To be honest, I'd prefer to not play Gather the Pack. I'd rather not build a green-black Shadows of the Past deck. I'm trying to think if I could wheel it, too. I mean, this pack is fairly deep. Not insanely deep. Or I guess I don't know which one I'm more likely to wheel, either. Pack 1, it seemed like black was more open, so maybe we're more likely to wheel the Shadows of the Past. I think I want Disciple, to be honest. I'm going to take Disciple, hope to wheel Shadows of the Past. If we do, I'll stick with the Gather the Pack, Return Centaur plan. If we don't, no big deal. All right, Rock Smaller is great. Definitely picking that up here. Kind of want the Llanowar Waste. We've got some double color stuff going on. Could take another Assassin. Could take an Orchard Spirit, but I'm going to take Llanowar Waste. I think we're likely to either wheel something or end up with enough playables, so I want the fixing. Could take Macabre Waltz. Works okay, I guess, with Gather the Pack and Return Centaur. But Might of the Masses is a legitimate trick, so I think I'm going to take that instead. I prefer to not play Slug, but I guess I'll take it here. Otherwise, it's an Orbs of Warding for sideboard. Gorger is fine, but a little bit expensive. I think we'll take Macabre Waltz here. Undead Servant, not really impressed with that. I think I'm going to hate the Possessed Scab. Here, I think I'm going to hate Skyraker Giant. Maybe Negate's decent against us sideboard-wise. I don't know. I mean, we have a deck. This pack did seem to dry up for us, though, after pick 3 or 4 or so. Hate the Prickle Boar. Guardians, number 2. Might actually play it. Maybe not, though. Could actually be better than a Slug. Alright, well, we didn't get the Shadows of the Past back. Slug seems not very good. I probably cut Slug for Guardians number 2, which I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest, but especially with Draga Invocation in this deck. But I need to play some creatures. Maybe I cut Gather the Pack. It does feed Graveblade Marauder, but I don't really care about it that much. Graveblade is more of just, I want it as a 1/4 Death Touch. So maybe I just try and shove some more creatures in here. I play the Slug, cut the Gather the Pack. Because I'm already 2 creatures down for my Jiraga invocation, so I'm really at like 13 for invocation purposes. But I guess the rest seems fine. Cobwaltz gives some value. Read the Bones definitely gives value. Dragon Invocation's a good late game card, even though Double Guardians makes it quite a bit more awkward. I don't really have a choice, though. My only other creature option is Thornbow Archer, which I just really don't like for this deck. But that's okay. I think that's fine. I could cut Macawbolts for Touch of Moonglove, only because Touch of Moonglove's really good with Hitchclaw Recluse, Double Guardians of Meletus, and even Return Centaur, and Catacomb Slug, I guess, for that matter, too. So, Touch of Moonglove actually could have some applications in this deck. But I think for the most part, I'd probably like Might of the Masses more. Maybe not. I guess it's because Might of the Masses doesn't require you to have a high toughness guy. It just requires you to have, you know, quite a few guys. How good is Macawboltz in here? It brings back Spider and Koth Fed. Brings back Graveblade Marauder. Brings back Imp. Works reasonably well with Return Centaur. I think I probably want Macawboltz in this deck. So then the question is, do I want to... Maybe I cut Titanic Growth for Touch of Moonglove. I'd probably rather run the Might of the Masses because it's cheaper. You can leave up 1 mana and do some blowout plays, potentially. How good is Touch of Moonglove in this deck? I'm really trying to figure it out. It's only good defensively with Guardians of Meletus. Like, I mean, it's good defensively with Hitchclaw Recluse and Return Centaur too, but it's also good offensively with those guys. I think Titanic Growth and Might of the Masses are probably a little more consistently good than Touch of Moonglove. Maybe not, though. That's tough to say. I mean, I'll leave Touch of Moonglove as a sideboard option. I think I'm going to stick with these two as my main deck cards. All right, let's sort by color, see where we're at. We've got the Llanowar Waste, which is nice. So this would be 10 black and 8 green. I probably am okay with an even split, to be honest. I need double in both colors. And I feel like I need some... I guess I need more black early, but I only need 1 black. I want to see both colors. I think Llanowar Waste making 9/9 really makes it so I see both colors pretty consistently. All right, I guess I'm ready to run it like this. I think Pack 3 probably hurt the deck a little bit, but the rest looks fine. We look like we have enough ways to win. So, all right, let's try this out. We'll see you round 1.